Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the FA Cup. We're going to do the semi-finals this weekend and we're doing my predictions. We're going to do a bit more talking about the results and stuff like that than we do usually because there's a lot of games. We just can kind of compile it all together, but today it's a bit more in depth. There's only 2 games going on, so there's going to be a bit more to talk about than just the games themselves. Starting with the video though of who I thought was going to go through into the next round, and then who actually has come through into this semi-final. And as you can see, Chelsea went through over Leicester and Coventry went through over Wolves, which is a massive surprise, Coventry going through over Wolves. I feel a little bit shot in the dark with Leicester going on over Chelsea. Leicester had their chances, they didn't play great and ended up losing, but they had the chances. It was 2-2 at one point, it looked like it might happen, but it didn't happen. Chelsea go through and Coventry go through against Wolves, which is a massive result for Coventry. As you can see, this is who I think is going to go through. Well, who I thought was going to go through and who actually went through. And these are the games of Man City versus Chelsea, which is a quite interesting game to talk about, and United versus Coventry. Another relatively interesting game to talk about, especially for myself being a United fan. I know the worry that sits with me on it, of why I'd rather have just had City and be done with it. But going on to the first one, which is Man City versus Chelsea. And a lot of people going, oh, City winning this one. City winning this one easy. Talk about it. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Talking about City. And I don't think it's as clear cut as City are going to win it. If you look at the results in the Premier this year, we've had 1-1 at the Etihad and 4-4 at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have had City's number all season. City haven't been able to break them down too well. They had the chances, but in that 4-4 game, it was a penalty, and it was a weak penalty. Haaland scoring with his balls, and a Rodri banger. It's not quite breaking Chelsea down. Chelsea have had 2 really good games against City this year, and they've been on good form recently. I think they can turn things around. You know, in the 6 games before this season, before Poch came in, City had won an aggregate of 10-0 in the 6 years, in the 6 games before, so past 3 years, before Poch has come in this year and changed things around. And you know, people complain about people going for Poch's head, but I feel like he's been a bit hard done by, because if you look at the recent results, they've had a 6-0 versus Everton, massive result. That 2-2 versus Sheffield United is a bit of an L, yeah. 4-3 against United, 2-0 against Burnley, another one where you're looking at and you go, what are you playing at there? And then 3-2 against Newcastle. Then that 3-2, 4-3 and 6-0 are massive results for Chelsea. And they're the right results in the right direction for the way Chelsea are trying to go. And it shows Poch might have his stuff planned out here. It might have his way of getting into that final. And, you know, don't halt it. But then you look at City's record, and City's record the past 5 games as well. 5-1 versus Luton, 4-2 versus Palace, 4-1 versus Villa, 0-0 against Arsenal and 1-0 against Liverpool. And as you can notice, apart from one game for both of these guys, they've conceded in all the games. So this game, there is going to be goals. There is going to be goals. And it depends on what team turns up. Like, obviously, the midweek fixtures in the Champions League, they're going to affect how City are playing. Chelsea have had a rest for a week. Chelsea have had a rest going to semi-final, have to focus on this semi-final. City have had a Champions League quarter-final against Real Madrid. It's not an easy turnaround for City whatsoever. And then they go down to Wembley and put in a result. Chelsea could potentially do City in this game, but that's what we're going to say for now. We're going to get to the predictions soon. And then on to the next game anyway, which was United versus Coventry. And I can't really compare their results this season because they've had results this season. Coventry obviously a whole division below us. But if you look at how United have played against the teams below us in the league, anyway, against anyone in the league, anyone at all in the league this year, we've played bad. Coventry have played with a lot of energy in the FA Cup this year. They played with a lot of high intensity, and that's kind of what has done United in this year. You know, Ten Hag wants us to be like the fittest team, can run the most, and it's for some reason it's not happening. You know, it's the Ten Hag tactics just aren't working. I had my complacency about this when he joined, and I went, Dutch football doesn't work in the Prem. This Dutch philosophy doesn't work in the Prem, and it's not working right now in the Prem. We'll see what happens in the summer with him, but if we don't win this game, it will be a killer for him. It will be game over, goodbye, because Coventry getting to the FA Cup final will be huge for Coventry, yeah. It'd be a massive loss for Manchester United in the semi-final, not getting to the final. If you look at our past results here, we've won 1 in our last 5, and that was the 5 games ago. 2-2 against Bournemouth, 2-2 against Liverpool, 4-3 against Chelsea, 1-1 against Brentford, and there was 2-0 winning against Everton. We lost that 4-3, but 3 draws. And I'm not including the FA Cup game in this for obvious reasons. It's Premier League only that I'm comparing here to. And then we're going to go into the league games of Coventry, who, have lost to Birmingham, lost to Southampton, beat Leeds, lost to Cardiff, and beat Huddersfield. That Huddersfield game is a game that should have won. Birmingham, they should have won as well. So Coventry haven't been on the strongest form in the league, but is that because they're trying to put all the focus into this game? They've gone, right, the league's a bit of a pushover now, we're not going to get playoffs. Let's go for that. Let's go for the glory. Let's go and try and win the FA Cup. Let's go put all our focus and energy into winning the FA Cup. And you know what? I am, something inside of me is worried for what is going to happen on Saturday. It's worrying. But honestly, I don't know what team's going to show up. I don't know what is going to show up. But anyway, on to the prediction. On to what I think the FA Cup final is going to be this year. And it is a big one. I think it will be Chelsea versus Manchester United. And it'll be a massive FA Cup final. We've not had an FA Cup final for quite a few years now. I think, we had it in 2019, was it? Was it 2019? When, Hazard scored, Phil Jones, like a penalty early on, and it was just a really boring, crap game, and it just depleted all the energy out of you. But yeah, I think it is going to be Chelsea versus Man United in the FA Cup final. I think it's one of the most played FA Cup finals is Chelsea versus Man United, especially in the 21st century. We'll wait and see how it goes though. It might be City versus Coventry for all we know. I honestly cannot say which way it's going to go, but this is how I feel it's going to go. I feel like Chelsea will just pip City, and I feel like United should walk over Coventry. We'll wait and see how I feel after the weekend though, guys. If you like the video, please leave a like. Let me know who you think is going to get into the FA Cup final down below. And then we might go into the FA Cup final, do a FA Cup review video as well, rather than just talking about the FA Cup final itself, because we've done the run-up already. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers.